Is everyone there?
All right, welcome everyone to today's Twitter Spaces. Really pumped for this one today, and I can already see more people jumping in the chat, which is great. Shout out to all the people giving us an emoji now as well. Matt, I can see you there. Louise, Kershon, there's Crypto. Really excited, I think is probably the wrong word. Just pumped actually today for our guest, which is going to be Rello Ranzano, who, if you don't know, you got to check out his work. Obviously, while we're doing the spaces this morning, it's a great opportunity for people to be able to listen to his music, learn a little bit more, but also just as well, if you want to join in the chat or join in the conversation, you're more than welcome. Rello, I think I've connected you. Really awesome to have you here for Mogul's Twitter Live.
I appreciate that. I thank you all for having me also.
No, well, I mean, I was actually watching some of your music videos recently because I wanted to kind of get more of an idea of, just obviously your style and things. I was watching Catalina, and for anyone, again, as we're sort of talking about the music side, feel free to jump in and watch any of these. But that's a cool music video, Catalina.
I appreciate that. Catalina was a vibe, a piece of work. We tried to put it together as best as we can. I guess we did a good job if everyone likes it.
Where did you shoot that?
We shot that in the Bahamas, actually, in Nassau, Bahamas.
It shot really well, by the way.
Thank you. Shout out to my videographer, Kriston Seymour. Great videographer. You should be looking forward to more of his work coming.
Yeah, I can tell he knows what he's doing because, I mean, obviously Mogul's a film production house, so it's like we know, like obviously films. Um, First of all, just though having you here is really awesome. There's a really exciting partnership between yourself and Mogul, and also one of a first because you're actually the first musical talent that we've actually done a collaboration with. So that's really cool. I thought it'd be really great just to kind of have a bit of a broad view of your career, what you've got coming up. I know you're opening for Little Dirk, which is super cool. And also happy for you to give a shout out to anything else that you'd like to talk about throughout the next half an hour.
Specifically, we can't say everything what we doing with Mogul. We got to keep that top secret and just surprise them with it.
Yeah.
But let's just basically say we have a lot of exciting things coming for you. Everything will be shot cinematically. The music is a blur, and that's not tooting my horn or arrogance. It's just a lot of hard work. It's a blur. They love it. They'll love it. We got an album coming up, Can't Escape the Allure. My manager and my brother is in there, Anthony, Philly. So he's more on the managing and production side of it. So it's gonna be a movie. Other than that, we have Kershon in there, one of the artists. I don't know if you saw the artist, the piece, one of the pieces for the NFT with the headphones on top of it, with the headphones and stuff like that. The Pink Kershon was the artist. Then we have Alan Pacino, another big artist from the Bahamas, collaborating with us. That piece should be done. It should be done now in a few days. I just don't want to give them too much. Just stay tuned. It'll be an
Hey,
exciting ride. You will love it. You will enjoy every part of it. And this is only the beginning. And thank you, Mogul, for having us.
yeah, no, that's said beautifully. Let's not give away too much. But super shout out, and again, Kershon, I can see you're in the spaces at the moment. Thanks for jumping in. I've also just sort of so it sort of makes sense. Anyone, if I brought you up to be a co-host or I've given you the access to speak, feel free to jump in anytime. It's a super casual conversation too. And like I said, we're super pumped just to have you, Rello, and also to be able to collaborate with you. Out of curiosity, where have we got you at the moment? Are you in the Bahamas right now?
I'm in the Bahamas right now. I'm looking at the ocean.
It sounds terrible.
Let's
I
shout out to Kev also. Let's shout out to Kev for making this possible, Kev and
Yeah.
Oggs, that's my guy. That's a big brother of mine. I love him.
Well, I was actually, I mean, this just comes to mind, but one of the great things about the location, where you're at is obviously shooting music videos and shooting film clips. But what's the creative scene like there at the moment? How would you describe it for any artists that wanted to know the industry there?
It's Cielo in Espanol. It means it's heaven, man. It's like, let your mind wander there. You got the beautiful seas. You got a lot of cultural places like old buildings, vintage buildings, just the style, the palm trees. You got great weather all the time. You got different flavors of women, for the videos. It's
Is
just,
is
it's lovely, man. It's
is
ecstatic.
is there a big music scene there, or is it kind of low key? Would you say?
It's about to be. We about to
Okay.
do that.
I like it. I like it because I think you sort of hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'm in Los Angeles. A lot of people. It is definitely a creative town, but there's some really cool shooting locations. Whether it's you're in film, TV, music, and I think where you are, obviously at the moment, you'd have a smorgasbord of what you want to shoot there. Um, just from your sort of experience, I mean, what was your first taste of getting into the industry? Can you talk about that?
My first taste, we're still trying to get in the industry, but we're in there. But you mean first time I did music? Be more detailed with that question for me so I could answer it correctly.
What was okay? What about we talk about the first time that you sort of you made an album or you kind of wrote a song, like the very, I guess you could say the point where you felt like this can be a career.
To be honest, the first time I wrote a song, I was say 14. I was a kid when I was writing songs. Didn't take it serious. Then I moved to Chicago at 14. I was 14, and they had this kid named Kenny Love. Kenny Love, if you out there, I remember you. You in Paris. Kenny Love was the cool guy in school freestyling. And then I wanted to freestyle against Kenny Love. So he was like just embarrassing everyone. So I sat down for a week and wrote the best freestyle and memorized it at least 10 minutes long. And I said it, and everyone was screaming and oohing and ahhing. I got a suspension for the foul language, but that's when I knew I was cool. Then I moved to Miami and I saw the scene, and I was in college and university, but I was among celebrities, artists, the models, everything. And no matter what, I always stood out. So I was like, I'm in the lifestyle. I live in this book. And then, like, I might as well do it. But when COVID actually happened, is when I took it serious because it was like the world stopped. Like, what could I do? How could I make money? How could I take care of my family at the same time, enjoy myself? And when COVID happened is when I actually took it really serious. Like, let's do this. Let's get it on. Let's do it. Because do you know
It's
they say when your back against the wall, when your back is against the wall, whatever you have on your mind and whatever is in your mind at that time and your back against the wall, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Or let's say you're bored and there's nothing else to do. You don't need money. You don't need anything. Whatever you do as a hobby or think about, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And all I think about is music.
That's awesome. Well, it's similar in the film industry too. When COVID came in, it was very much like if you really wanted to be in the film industry, you'd still sort of find a way, writing scripts, shooting, horror movies that are, while in quarantine, like you still want to be in it. But kind of to your point as well, like if you don't really want to be doing it, or if it's not what you're supposed to be doing, then it's like you're not going to do it in the tough times. And I
No.
think you saw a lot of people obviously change what they were doing or change their outlook during COVID. I mean, in general, I mean, is there any advice you'd give for artists that are starting out in the industry now that you had learnt the hard way, or lessons you've learnt the hard way?
If you don't love it, don't do it. I don't care what it is. If you don't have a real love or passion for it, don't do it. You're wasting your time. And the best advice I have for artists is always be yourself. Like you may think you suck, you may think you're not good enough, but just keep going. Find your sound. You'll grow through it. As you grow in life, you'll grow in your music. Just grow through it. Pray a
Yeah,
lot. It's my main advice to everyone. Pray a lot and just go through it. Don't stop. Why stop? How would you know if you stop? And at the same time, be open to advice. Don't be attached to an outcome. Don't be attached to your work because you may think this is the greatest song ever, but then the people next to you saying, nah, you need to do this and not be open minded to hearing them, but still be yourself. But at the same time, it's kind of cliche and it's kind of hypocritical. At the same time, you have to know when to listen and when not to listen. Your spirit will tell you that. That's why I say pray more so you can learn who you are, who you want to be. And you can't just say that. You have to learn as you go. Anyone can give you a detailed blueprint, do this, do that, but it may not work for you. So You have to listen, and at the same time, a lot of things you have to learn on your own through experience because everyone has a different perception, a different story they want to tell. So you just learn as you grow.
That's awesome. I'm actually trying to write down some of those quotes there because that's fantastic. And I think, yeah, like you said, it doesn't really apply just to the music industry. I mean, I can see all of that applying here in Hollywood to whether you're an actor, director, writer, producer. You know, if you don't love it, don't do it because it's
Oh,
one of those things where you got to be all in and all, like you're either all in or all out. I feel like if you want to kind of have endurance in it. Um, let me ask you, I mean, actually, let me tell you a great story just on that, because you really just brought something up when you said, don't stop. But there was a guy that I know who wanted to be an actor, like desperately wanted to be an actor, lived and breathed it, came to Hollywood for 3 years, didn't even get a TV commercial, like not one single bit of work. He
mhm.
came from Australia, and then he basically was like, I can't stay here any longer. My visa's running out, because you need work to renew the visa. And he'd sort of committed to, like, this is going to be my last month here in America. Sold everything, which wasn't much, and was basically going to do like a road trip from LA to San Francisco. This is his last 3 weeks in America now. And his agent said, look, just audition for this last thing. um, and he kind of did it on his iPhone, used the Wi-Fi at Starbucks to upload it. And that one audition went to a callback, went to another callback. The showrunner from Sons of Anarchy had a new show coming up, and he ended up getting the lead role in this TV show. But it was like he got nothing. Like, he didn't even get a commercial. He didn't even get a short film in 3 years. His visa was running out, and it came down to the last 3 weeks. And obviously he stayed on, and his career is, really trajectory is high. But it's that thing where, yeah, like if he'd stopped a day before and said, oh look, I'm not doing that audition because I'm leaving anyway, it all would have ended.
Facts. You could hear me, right?
Yeah. No, I can
You,
definitely hear you. Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
can't
I
stop, like, because you never know when it'll be. And from life experiences with me, it sound crazy, but when it seem hard and stuff crazy, and you know your characters aligned, you're not making dumb decisions, you're not doing nothing stupid, you're doing everything you can, and it seem hard, you right there. It's just like life testing you, like Andrew Tatum say life is a gauntlet. How would you know who ready or deserve what they deserve if you just give it to everyone? If you just let them go through 5 or 10 tests, anyone could pass 5 or 10 tests. Anyone could overcome 1 or 2 challenges. You have to. So I don't know what everyone believe in, a higher power, or whatever. I don't knock anyone for religion. I don't like to discuss religion, but I say I believe in God. So how would God bless you or give it to you and find out if you're worthy without putting you through it all? Taking you down to the last point, like when you say you feel desperate, you this, but never make a desperate decision. Still hold your confidence, still remember who you are, but how would you know? So when it feel like you're back against the wall and it's about the end, that's when you right there. If you keep going, you said he had 1 month, probably 3 days left. He did it, and now he's on.
Exactly. And sometimes you've got to learn a lesson on the way there, which is,
Lord.
the point of the challenge. Yeah. Speaking of which, I mean, do you have role models that you've always looked up to, or is there anyone in your life as far as in the music industry?
I won't even lie to you. I won't even tell a lie. All my life, I admire a lot of people, the way they move. I admire some things about people, but I could honestly say from the bottom of my heart, I never looked up to anyone. I never wanted to be like anyone, and I would never want to be like anyone, ever. I admire them. I admire what they do. I admire the work. I'm inspired by it, but I always had this sense of assurity. I always knew who I was. I may have been insecure in ways, immature, but I always knew who I was. Always knew I wanted to be. And like they say, Michael Jackson can't be Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan can't be Michael Jackson, but they both special. So I just want to be Rello, nothing else.
Yeah, which is again, that's your identity. I find the same thing in LA, in Hollywood, a lot too. You make a good point, because whether it's the music industry or the film industry, I always say to people, like, if you're trying to be the next Tom Cruise is already cast in a film, like they've already got him covered. Or if you're trying to be the next whoever it is, Halle Berry or Jennifer Lawrence or whoever, they're not going to cast you because they already have someone more famous, higher profile who can play that part. But it's who you are, like your unique features, your unique skill is what is most interesting, and that's what you've got to hone in. But again, I'm sort of can only sort of judge myself, but that's a real key, I think, for people making in the film space here. Let me
But
ask you, yeah, I mean, and jump in with any of your sort of points as well from the music industry. We're sort of talking a little bit about your career, and again, awesome to see so many people jumping in our spaces
we
here today.
appreciate you.
Yeah, is there a song that you've written or you've performed that is your favorite, or one that you kind of again has a special place for you?
I don't write. That's the first thing. We don't write these down. These like real thoughts. We punch in, stop, think, rap, stop, think, rap. So we don't write. When I write, I can't get the right emotion off. But as far as favorites, I got many, man. The Can't Escape the Law album is many. All them. Every song is a real situation for me. It's like real situations. That's why I say I can't. I could write it, but it won't come up with the same emotion. So everything is real to me. We may exaggerate one or a few things and get creative. That's being an artist. Get creative. But everything is real to me. But one of my favorite songs, I would say. Philly. What's the name of that song, Philly? Remind me. Shut Up Freestyle. The freestyle is on YouTube. Shut Up. She only tell me that she love me when she need me the least. The one with all the powers, the one who needed the least. I don't tell her what to do. I don't even speak. She don't listen to Jesus. Who the fuck is me? It's like that's one of my favorite freestyles because that's the first time I really got in depth with my emotions and say what I really wanted to say. We always back and forth like sliding doors, the money involved. She backing up and sliding off. Say she want me open like a window in the summertime. No lie, girl, you fine, but my pride involved. No, you hate it when I. No, she hate it when a nigga do this. Let me talk a little bit. Let me flex my shit. Now close your lips and just open up. Let me be like Michelle's do coconuts. That's one of my favorites, man.
Oh, we've got to make sure this space is available for people to rewatch this. Oh man, that's awesome! Just hearing you freestyle like this, straight up. Like, I just a quick heads up as well, Philly. You can speak if you want to jump in and add anything at all during this conversation. Please jump in if you feel you'd like to at any point.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm just here enjoying the show so far. Like I think there's some pretty good questions that you're asking. I'm just as long as like I'll be in the background. I think it's being handled well.
Yeah, no. Well, as long as you know you're more than welcome. And again, it's such a pleasure to have you here as well. Um, and
Appreciate
again,
that.
just great to have so many people here as well tuning in. We'll make sure we keep the interview up on Spaces anyway after. Rello, just kind of moving through just a couple more questions for you, which again, like awesome. Or like I meant before, I've written down some of the stuff that you've mentioned. Again, if you don't love it, don't do it. That's a great quote for anyone.
Do it. Don't do it. You're wasting
Yeah.
your time. Don't do it. Just
Hey.
get a job until you figure it out.
Yeah. Is there any? I mean, from people that you've worked with from the music side, is there any artists that you've kind of gone, wow, like this person is really talented, or you felt like you've learnt the most from?
To be honest, I learned the most from Philly, whether believe it or not, because Philly very critical, but it's not critical in a way where he judging you. Is more critical where he blood raw with it. So he have the same mindset as me. I never feel I'm good enough. He never feel it good enough. Between Philly and Zoltan, I learned the most between them two because they always tell me, well, you got a lot of good songs, but we need great records. Like, if you're gonna do this, we need records. Like, we got hundreds of songs, but we're not releasing an album until we get records. So when I saw that recognition and everyone collabing for this project, I was like, all right, I'm ready now. All right, let's go get it. So it's like, but the artist would inspire me the most. I don't want to pick sides. I don't know. It's a
Hey,
lot of artists inspiring me. Like, there's a lot of artists inspiring me. You got Gunna. I'm inspired by Gunna. I like Drake. I still inspired by Future. You got But this artist from South America, Ryan Castro, he inspired me a lot. Uh, the South American scene inspired me the most because their culture, like love music, is like a cult following, but it's not a cult following. They just enjoy music, like it's in their blood. So the South American artists inspire me the most. Like right now, they inspire me because everyone they so supportive down there. It's like a lot of support. Like you go, you drop a record. If it's okay, they still give you 800,000 views just to check it out. Let me see what he's saying. But if it's great, they actually support it. And a few local artists inspire me also. A lot of local artists inspire me. You got Lex, Sleepy Lex. He inspired me a lot. Who else? Is this young kid named Drew? This new young kid named Drew inspired me. A lot of OG's kilograms. There's a lot of people I could go on all day. But
No,
but people who inspire me the most with the music is between Philly and Zoltan because if it's not hot, they're not gonna comment. They're not gonna write back. So it's like, they ain't say nothing. But you got off tough skin around them. You feel me?
Oh man, that's so interesting because I kind of lean that also into the film space where you talk about when if you're in a community or a part of the world where it's very much supported, like it's you like you were talking about in South America where they obviously get behind you as an artist. Uh,
Heavy.
it's such a difference between that and when you're in an environment where people are more pessimistic to start with.
I love Medellin. I love my Bahamas. I love my country. I love every part of the world. I respect it all. But I love Colombia. I love Medellin.
Well, what about can we maybe dive just a little bit into Little Dirk? What is it, August the 31st? You'll be opening for him. Is that correct?
Yeah, we opening for Dirk. It's a pleasure too. Shout out Dirk Yo.
Have you worked with him before?
Now I would love to, and I look forward to it.
Shout out again, anyone that's just joined in. This has been a great conversation already, Rello. And again, if you're just joining, one of the things to look out for is our partnership coming up, our collaboration, which is, again, we haven't given too much away. We can dive just a little bit deeper before the end of
We
the.
could dig deeper on them. We could dig deeper. Get them. Don't hold back. Let's get them.
Yeah. Well, I think the interesting thing that makes for anyone that kind of again doesn't know who Mogul is. I mean, look, we're a film financing and Web3 company that loves to make films and also support and do collaborations, whether it be NFTs. But this is going to be our first music collaboration that we've done. And again, just quick shout out. I'll do a quick plug, Rello, as well, in case you or any of your friends our latest movie's coming out on the 30th of August. You'll be obviously opening for Dirk on the 31st. So similar time. City of Dreams comes out in US cinemas. So check out that again, which we're really excited about. Have you got any plans to go into the film industry as an actor?
That's all the plans. Can't Escape the Law will not just be an album. We got a lot of plans. We can't say them. We'll just surprise them. It's actually a film we've been working on for the last 2, 3 years. We got a lot of brushing up to do, so we didn't discuss that yet. You can't go from level 1 to level 100. You gotta. That's the main advice I want to tell people too. What I learned: stop trying to skip levels. Stop trying to skip the process. Because if you go from level 1 to level 10 and you drop down to level 1, it's going to be harder to get even back to level 8 because you didn't learn along the way. So stop rushing. Stop being desperate. Like, and like embrace the struggle. It's hard, but it's the struggle. It builds character. As easier said than done because it hurts. Suffering hurts, but it builds character. It shows you lessons you need to learn and do all that. Don't try and skip that. When you try and skip it and go the fast way, it always leads to regrets. It always leads to embarrassment, shame, prideful stuff. Just don't try and skip levels.
Which is again, it's such a good point because I think, I mean, I like to call it, it's a process from the film space, like whether you want to be a director or an actor or whatever it is from the Hollywood side. I call it a process because it's, as you said, levels. It's like a lot of people, they just want to go straight to winning an Academy Award, but they don't want to either learn the craft or learn that, it might take a guest role on a TV show to get a lead role in an independent film to then get from the lead role in the independent film to then get like a studio film. Like it takes time. You can't just suddenly, make it like a TikTok video and it
No,
suddenly happens overnight. Very
no,
rarely. Yeah.
No, learn as you go. Like just because people aren't commenting doesn't mean that it's not good. Just keep going. The more you do, the more consistent you are. They'll watch it, and then you will learn what you need to do. You will adjust a few things. You learn as you go. Like when you first start going to school and or you first start cooking, you weren't the best. You had to learn, and then you added your flavor to it, and then you became a pro. It's like a process, you know.
Well, with that process, I think this is a nice segue to sort of talk about it. Can you talk about what's coming up next, or what you're most excited about that's coming up in the next 12 months? Besides, we've got the partnership with Mogul, and obviously opening for Dirk on the 31st. But is there anything else that's coming up that's got you sort of inspired?
Life. This Mogul project got me most inspired because of what we about to do and what we about to present to them. Like I say, life. They got to stay tuned. I can't say too much because when you say too much sometimes, I wouldn't say it don't happen, but it's best to be quiet and show them. Talk less, do more. Just show them.
Yeah.
Like you give them little sneak peeks to show them. But this project with Mogul is about to be serious, man. Mogul's gonna be proud. The world's gonna be proud, and this is gonna lead to everything else.
Which is, again, you make a really good point. I think, if you just do the work, then it shows for itself. I guess probably one of the things would be interesting just to get your feedback on as well is, I mean, where do you see the music industry going? Where do you think it's going to end up? The way, obviously, you've got social media now, you've got social media artists versus traditional artists, you've got, online mediums like Spotify versus, old school record deals. But have you got in your head what you feel like the music industry might look like in the next 5 years to 10 years?
I do, but I don't want to get into politics. I
Okay.
do. I don't want to get into politics, but so I don't know where they going, but I know where we going, and where we going. I know where we going, and whether they say it's arrogance or confidence or whatever, I know where we going. Wave runners. I know where we going, and I need that seat. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'8", so I need that chair, and I ain't trying
Yeah.
to share that either with nobody.
Well, I think you make a good point, which again I've noticed here in LA, a lot of people are kind of loving to get involved in the political side or the political views, and then obviously over time that kind of shaves off time that they could be using just to work on their craft, shooting stuff, getting stuff done. But yeah, focus on yourself, I think, is a good outcome to be looking at.
I just focus on being the best version of me, so everyone don't take that incorrect. Like, I can't do Drake, I can't do Kendrick, I can't be this, but I could be Rello. No one's gonna beat me being Rello. No one's gonna beat him being him. So I look forward to being me and the best version of me, and that will make room for all the people with me to be themselves and a bigger stage on a bigger platform. And I look forward to collaborating with the other greats. That's what I'm most excited about because ego enters the room with a lot of people. That won't ever enter the room with me because I know who I am. So I'm looking forward to going in those arenas with the greats and learning from them and teaching as well because everyone can learn from each other. I learn from learning from them. They learning from me, collaborating with them, collaborating with me. That's what I look forward most to, showing the world what we actually do naturally, not forcing anything. Just show them we do this. And coming from a country like the Bahamas, I look forward to my country being proud, everyone who believe in me being proud. And I look forward to the people who don't believe in me being proud. I look forward to inspiring them the most to be who they want to be.
Well, you're doing awesome work at the moment, even already. And like I said before we started the conversation, even for anyone, just if you haven't, heard your music before, check out on YouTube, and the music videos as well have been shot really well. Do you have any advice for anyone that is shooting a music video as an artist? Because that's slightly different. I mean, that's kind of stepping into the acting world as well. But what advice would you give if you're having a music video shot for the first time and you're the artist?
Sit down and take your time. Write your video out. Show them your vision. Like my people, my team always tell me, Philly always say, no one knows your vision. Like they could say their vision, but only you could portray your vision how you want it. So write it out. Even if you never wrote a script, sit down, look at videos, screenshot certain scenes which you would like to mimic because there's nothing new under the sun. I didn't say steal other people's work. I say be inspired by it and say, I want something along the lines of this. So it doesn't have to be exactly this, but I like how you shot this. Only you could detail how you want to be seen. So it doesn't matter if you have $100 budget or $1 million budget. You could make it work. Get creative. You're an artist. Just get creative. Make it work. Don't be prideful. Ask favors. A lot of people gonna tell you no. Don't hate them. Just keep working. You feel me?
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually have a friend of mine, a cinematographer, and he shoots a lot of stuff over here. Some great artists. I'm sure everyone's sort of heard of them. And the really interesting thing is, he was always saying that it's usually on the day, it's usually the artist that's the least rushed. The crew is rushing, everyone else is rushing, and that's why often there's that energy, like, obviously keeping up the energy from, when it's 8 o'clock in the morning you're shooting to 5 o'clock in the evening, but just having that energy all the way through. um, we've got time just for one more question, but before I
But
do, I want
before
to
you
ask
say
too
that,
is
to keep that energy up, you gotta have a good team around you to remind you why you're doing it. Just be like, let's go, we almost there. You can't do that alone.
absolutely, yeah. And it's funny you say that too, because I think that's where you want to be working with people that are actually passionate about it. Believe it or not, there are people that move to Hollywood, come to Hollywood, and they'll be the first person to look at the clock at 5 o'clock and say, "Oh, actually, I've got to do this now. I've got to do that," and mentally they just detach from the set. But if you live and breathe it, it's like it doesn't matter what time it is. You just want
That's
to.
why
You just want to make.
that's why only a few are great, and then the others just get hand me downs.
Yeah. Well, that's and again, that's the ride. You've got to sometimes find that the hard way. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you'd love to sort of mention? Because yeah, it's been an awesome conversation. Huge shout out to what you've got coming up as well with Mogul, but also just with anyone checking out your music, got to check it out. But is there anything you'd like to sort of bring up as well before we wrap up?
I just want everyone to check out the music right now. Check out everything we got on YouTube. Stay in tune with what we doing. Check out the Apple Music, Spotify. But I'm looking forward to that video for KT Pasta. That's the next single we about to drop. It's a surprise. Sorry, Mogul. I was trying to hold my mouth, but that's the video we about to do with Mogul. KT Pasta is gonna be
No.
a movie. We have a special guest or two and that, so it's gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to that. We have a lot of big songs on there. Like I'm confident in that project, like super confident in that project of what it's gonna do in the world, what it's gonna do, because all we're trying to do is project confidence. The main message with Wave Runners is trying to project. I'm not saying Rello Ranzano because it's bigger than me. I have a team, I have people, and I just want to know Wave Runners. Anyone who believe in themselves or know where they're going or what they want to do is a wave runner in my eyes. But we just trying to inject confidence in people, real confidence. Be touching on subjects that are sensitive, but people afraid to talk about in detail. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that KT Pasa video, man. Let's go, man. Mogul, what we
Hey,
doing?
hey, you know what? I was going to say I'm keen to get more inspired with also just what you've got coming up, and again your music videos and your locations too. I mean, for anyone that's from the film side and just wanting to get inspired too, like you're doing great work there.
That's
Uh,
Chris Dawn. That's Chris Dawn. You got to shout out the mind behind the ghost behind the camera, Chris Dawn
hey,
Seymour.
hey, if he's ever coming to Hollywood, let me know. I know there's a
Oh,
lot
he's
of
coming.
people that want to shoot.
We're all going together. We coming.
Yeah,
Just look up.
yeah.
We coming.
Well, I wanted to say again, I'll just leave with this, which I thought was great. You mentioned embrace the struggle. For anyone that's an artist out there, again, your quote, which was embrace the struggle. I'm really enjoyed the conversation, Philly. It's been awesome to have you as well, and also thanks very much for both your time, Rello, Philly, for coming on as well. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we're really excited what's coming up between our collaboration.
Most definitely. We appreciate you guys as well. Like I said, we want to say shout out to Mogul Productions. Appreciate y'all for taking us on and being the first project under the music catalog that you guys are about to have. So we really appreciate y'all. This is something that's going to change the space in the bombers and probably allow for more artists to actually have that visibility because the Bahamas space that we don't actually have a music market out here, and we're trying our best in the little that we do, and we're trying to make it bigger than what it is. So we appreciate you guys giving us a voice, giving us a platform, as well as just believing in the vision that we have behind us. So we appreciate y'all. Wave Runner Records, Philly, Rello, Ranzano.
Hey, thanks, Philly. Yeah, right back at you and Rello. And look, we hope we can do this again for another conversation. Rello, have a great show with Little Dirk on the 31st. More exciting things to come up before then. And yeah, just to wrap up and say it's been an awesome conversation and really appreciate everyone's time.
We appreciate all you too, and thank you. And never forget, most importantly, always put God first, man.
I love
Always,
it. I love it.
always get a prayer or two in. Whatever you believe in, just put God first.
I love it. All right, everyone. Well, looking forward to another Spaces coming up. But yeah, this will be up on the Twitter page for everyone, just to be able to reshare and listen. So many good points here. And again, check out Rello's music as you're listening to this as well. Have a safe and special rest of the week, everyone. Talk to everyone soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Ciao, everyone.
Thanks, Rello. Thanks, Philly.
Peace.
Peace.